In this video, we're going to look at how you might extend your Excel spreadsheet to include some more data. So over here on the right, I'd suggested that you might have taken results for several different types of bottle, and we've produced one results table. This was for my plastic Coke bottle to represent the data that we could have collected for that one. So in order to represent the idea that we might have several different bottles, what I'm going to do is add a new column on the left. So that's going to sort of appear before this one. And down here on the left, rather than making it part of this table, in fact, I might insert two columns, so I've got myself a bit of room to work with. I might start to label each one with the type of bottle. So this is my plastic Coke bottle. And over here, I might also choose to record the height of this bottle. Now, at this point, Excel is quite good when we start to move things around that we've referenced in an earlier formula. So hopefully you remember the average height of air here was found by taking the value in this cell here and subtracting the value in this cell from it. Of course, I've just inserted two new columns. So previously, this number 35 appeared in cell Q2, and previously this number 30 appeared in cell E2. As I inserted two extra columns over here on the left, Excel corrected for that by changing the reference from Q2 to S2 and from E3 to G3. So it's quite good at keeping track as you move things around. I can take the value that was in this cell and move it across. And if I do so, it still manages to keep hold of the reference. So by physically picking up that number and dragging it across like that. So I did it by having my pointer sort of on the edge, on the green border. So not in the little black square, in that green border around the outside. If I pick it up and move it around like that, then the reference goes with it. So now it's going to take the value in this cell B2 and subtract G3 from it. So it's quite good at keeping track of where you've put numbers if you move them around in the right sort of way. So that was my plastic Coke bottle. Its height, well, this was in centimeters. Let's be a bit careful. We don't really need the colon because it's written in the box next to it. So we might then think, well, I've done all this set of data. I have to do it all again for another bottle. But of course, what Excel is good at is doing the sort of repeating of stuff for you. So if I was in this situation and I wanted to now insert my results for my wine bottle, I'd highlight the whole table. I won't do it with the mouse, with the keypad shortcut. So normally I'd press Control and C, but I'll right click and do copy because you can see I'm doing that. Come down here, leave a couple of cells space, and then do paste. So there's various options here for paste. We want the most basic one, which is going to do. We'll talk about where you might use the other ones later on. So if I look, the values here have come across, but also the formulas have come across, but been corrected down the page. Now it's not referring to column, it's still referring to column D, but not row 3. It knows to skip down to row 17, which is where this calculation is going to take place. Now I can take out this data. I'm going to change this for the wine bottle over here. The height I said was 26. So again, I could drag this value across. Whoops, not like that. Get the arrows in the corner and move it into there. I could have just retyped it. I'm going to check my formulas. So that's working out the average of D17 to F17. That's what I wanted to do. So it's going to be correct the rest of the way down the page. But since I checked that first one was correct, I usually just copy it down like that to make sure. This one is going to take the value in cell R, but this is still referring back to B2, which I don't want it to do. I want it to refer to this cell down here, which is B16. So either I could take that blue box and drag it to the one that I want it referred to. That's one way of doing it. Or I could come in here and just type, instead of B2, I want B16. And then I've got space to put in another set of data for my wine bottle. I can do exactly the same thing again. Or my, what did I say, fabric conditioner bottle. I think fabric conditioner bottles are probably all opaque, so it would not be a good choice. But let's pretend I've got a see-through one. Take my fabric conditioner bottle, check, is it working out the average height of liquid correctly? Yes, I'm happy with that. Check, is it working out the average height of the air column correctly? No, because that needs to come down to there. Then once I've done that, I need to make sure that formula is copied down that whole line. Did I check that over here? No, I didn't. So on this one, I needed to make sure that every row was referring to B16. The others are referring to B2 still. So let's put that right. Take the formula that's in the top row, copy it down. When you do that copying down, this is sort of a minor thing, but you might notice it's got rid of the thick border around the bottom edge. That's quite annoying. It bothers me. I don't know if it'll bother you. But if I go back to that and press on thick border again, so it remembers the last setting I used, it puts that thick border back in. So now I've got space to record 3 sets of data. I can put in my data and my thing will automatically work out the average height of the liquid columns and the average height of the air left in the bottle once I put my numbers in.